Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Time for game number 2. Final Tribe up 1-0 with a dominating performance in game number 1. Not least because of Grimstroke. He's got a lot done here. We've seen quite a few of these double chain frost plays with the Lich on top of it. They banned the Lich out this time, so they have to maybe look for some other combos. OG could block pick the Sand King right now, but either way, they're gonna need to find something that's maybe has some more stable lanes, because they could not really get on the feet after that laning stage in the last game. So, Neff, what are your thoughts? How do you approach a game like this if you were the captain?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my thought on the Grimstroke pick.
Yeah.
And it certainly ain't broke. Those double chain frost that came out were insane. That hero was insanely powerful in his own right. He did tons of work that game. He was one of the driving forces into bringing that game home into the order that they did it in. So it's no surprise that they picked that up as soon as possible here.
Yep.
The Lich is banned out by themselves, though, so they're not going to get those same double chain frost decimated some of these team fights in the last game.
5 seconds remaining.
But I'm sure that they got some other plans if they're picking that hero up first. And OG responds right away by taking Oracle, so they're probably a little bit afraid of those double spells coming out, and this is one of the heroes that negates spell damage.
Yeah, also the spell pretty useful against Inkswell, I believe. You can get rid of that.
Correct.
With the Fortune Zen, so they're already starting to adjust that draft, and now they need a combo. I mean, Task is still in a pool. We've seen that in the very first game that they played against Helsinki Reds. It's a bit of a combo.
Radiant team picked.
But go for the Brewmaster instead.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant
This is one of those situations that I talked to you about in the other series. The Grimstroke, his silence is not dispelled by Oracle's ultimate, which dispels every other silence in the other than Doom. Every other silence in the game other than Doom. So that's something that the Oracle has to keep in mind here. That can be a little bit weird to deal with, because again, it's not the silence is like on your hero, it's the bug that gets attached to you, and that thing doesn't get dispelled. You gotta auto attack it off.
Brewmaster can run into the similar issues if he tries to get his ultimate off, but then the bug just latches on. He has to try and get rid of it.
Yeah, he can't just build a Lotus Orb to deal with that. He's got to build a full BKB.
Yep.
That's some rough stuff.
This indeed. Let's see though, because again, Grimstroke Sand King, probably one of the better combos here. We haven't even seen that, or seen the two of them together in lane in that last game, but it just goes to show I guess the power of the Grimstroke, how much is attached to that, and how powerful the Sand King just is in these solo lanes. As we're seeing a few more of those here in these last couple of days and weeks.
I mean, that new Sandstorm rework, that thing is so good in the laning phase. I mean, the enemies have to deal with him sandstorming the creeps and the melee attacks coming out. It suddenly becomes so much harder to come close to that lane without taking huge harass, because you're standing under the threat of Caustic Finale. You're standing under the threat of Sandstorm, and he can stun you as well at any time during that. It's just too much to deal with.
Yeah. Didn't you pick an anti-mage into that?
I mean, maybe they know something we don't. Maybe that counter spell is going to be pretty effective against the Sand King. Maybe can be pretty effective against the Grimstroke.
I've seen it before, because Sand King's Burst Strike, I still don't understand why, but it's still a unit target. So it's Lincoln's blocks it and stuff like that. It's reflected by Lotus Orb, and as a result, it also counterspell also affects it. So instead of stunning the anti-mage, all of a sudden you're the one being stunned, and you're still kind of dragging anti-mage around a little bit.
Burrows under the ground.
Yeah.
It stuns you.
Yeah.
He gets claws for hands suddenly and starts digging.
You know, it's just one of these enemy characters, you know, jumps up into the air and just dives into the ground like it was water. Maybe I'm thinking about some weird alien. I'm thinking about Zerg right now. This is perhaps unrelated, but
Anti-mage is an alien?
Maybe.
I could see it.
I mean, he hates magic. No one else hates magic in this world.
Well, didn't you read his lore? Some magician did a magic trick, and he ended up stealing Anti-Mage's hat.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the lore. That's it.
Okay. That sounds like a cover story to me, honestly. It's not a lot of effort. It's not really elaborate. It doesn't really ring the bell.
Yeah, it's not a very good reason for him hating magic. He just hates it for some reason. When he was a dumb kid, he got his hat stolen. So anyways.
Maybe he's just a bigot, and he's just using that as an excuse.
He doesn't understand magic, so he hates it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, they have the Dazzle to help him out. Or I guess Oracle helps him out. Dazzle goes aggressively together with the Brewmaster. One or the other.
Yeah.
I guess with Dazzle, though, up against the String Fury Sand King, like, he's one of the heroes that could potentially go toe-to-toe, right?
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
One of the better heroes at dealing with that. Sand King has to be a little bit more careful in getting too close to the creep wave, which he loves doing when Dazzle's on the enemy team, though, because that heal bomb come out and do a lot of damage to him.
Yeah.
I like how Final Tribe responded right away to the anti-mage pick with a lion. It's a pretty bold move given how they've changed anti-mage's spell shield and given him counter spell now, because if you end up messing up that blink hex, if anti-mage can predict that, you're going to be the one dying in very short order, and then he's blinking away right afterwards.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, if you start with a Q, if you start with the Earth Spike or whatever it's called.
No, you got to start with the hex.
Yeah.
Because the hex is instant.
Yeah.
The Earth Spike, if you have fast enough reflexes, you can easily have the timing.
5 seconds.
You got to predict the hex coming out with counter spell.
Yeah.
Instant cast point. Yeah,
well,
putting a band out, which makes sense. It's the hero that you want to ban out against when you have an OD on your team.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you take huge damage every time that Arcane Orb comes out.
Yeah. Speaking of OD, so I mean they don't have the last pick overall, so kind of it makes sense to pick it in the 4th slot. But is that the right hero here? I mean, it's not really. I mean, I guess it does do a lot of damage against the anti-mage if he gets off the ground.
Pure damage.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that mana void coming out in the same way that you would a lot of intelligence-based mid heroes.
Yeah. If you play it properly, like if
sitting at full mana.
Yeah. It's not by default, or like previously, like you could just at some point, if you have a high enough mana pool, you can just put your orb in auto cast and be done with it. This time around, ever since 7.20, you have to actively play around your passive and run creep waves. But I guess at some point you get to a point where you do enough damage to still sustain yourself and not really lose more mana than you gain.
The PA coming out last, I like that. Direct counter to the anti-mage. A pretty solid draft overall. They got frontline in the form of Sand King. They have saves from Grimstroke, from Lion, saves from OD. Huge damage from everybody. And Skywrath is their last pick. I like that a lot. That Silence is going to do tons of work this game.
Absolutely.
I think I prefer Final Tribe's draft a little bit this game, though.
Yeah, me too. Like OD, it's still one of these all or nothing type heroes, but Phantom Assassin very strong in this patch, despite a couple of changes here with cast point now on the blur and everything. But you have some pretty solid lockdown. You have the Scrimstroke in the early game just to get a handle on these lanes. You're up against the anti-mage, so it's very vulnerable to that. And the Sand King as well, of course.
All right, I'm gonna read out a Twitch chat comment that I saw during the break.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Why would you do this, Neff?
Anto Andri says, "Guys, OG was just losing in purpose to set some anime shit again." So, we'll see if that's the case, everybody.
Okay, yeah, sure. Maybe just gaming the system, you know? Maybe just losing here. And trust Final Tribe to beat Helsinki Reds as well, so they can come in second. And then play against the winner of Group A? Nah, I have no idea how this works.
We'll see.
I'm not sure how much sense this makes, but we'll see.
We'll see if Anto Andri was correct.
Yeah. I mean, this is not a best of 3 series, so even if they tie up, I don't think it's... If you assume that Final Tribe wins 2-0 up against Helsinki Reds, then all this does is, I guess, put them for tiebreaker after the groups, if you even play there. Tiebreaker for seeding. I don't know. They have to get through this game first, though. They start to smoke up immediately.
Yep.
Zep actually on the Dazzle. What do
Only some of these heroes are smoked, though. 2 of the heroes don't have the smoke. Anti-Mage and Skywrath, so maybe they'll try and use the Skywrath bait him out. They match his movement speed. right now, due to the fact that everyone else is very slow and he's very fast. But
Ooh, we're making our way in. Era could be. Yeah, there we go. This route already starting to work in. 5 heroes around him. Like, he can throw the stun, misses it completely. And now it's just a matter of who they want to give the first blood to, and it is the Dazzle.
okay, Seb will get some boots or something like that pretty
30
quickly.
seconds to
Wait, what's he
battle.
sending out to himself? Sending himself out a null talisman recipe. Okay, Seb.
Well, it's pretty
The
expensive
spell
now.
is-
You need the first blood to actually get enough money for that, I guess. But it
Yep.
is that first one completed now.
Yep. The spell damage amp does work on the poison touch, so it almost has 17 damage a second on that instead of
So 16.
previous 16. So almost a full extra damage a second.
The
That adds
battle
up.
begins.
Don't you do more damage though if you just get a Blightstone?
Yes.
Okay. Huh. Thinking. Anyway, this offlane Dazzle, what do you make of that in general? And with the Brewmaster support?
10,000 IQ play. My money is on the final drive, though.
Okay. 10,000 IQ plays, not enough. You heard it here first.
Mhm.
Trialing a bit here. I mean, we've talked about the Grimstroke Sand King here once again, though, with trialing. Not going to see that for a while, but it's a bit of a different combo here. Lion can start with a setup stun. Once PA gets level 2, you can Phantom Strike in, move the Inksword on top of you for the follow-up. So either way, you have a lot of control, and if OG is out of position, you gotta be very careful. But now Hanskin with the slow, couple of right clicks in, nice little Q there, nice little Earth Spike, they'll slow him down, and there it is, Era. He's also super fast, so you can just walk in, and No Tail will be at the second blood, 1-1, the scoreline now.
Yep. At the same time, their Sand King almost went down. He dropped to like 25 HP during that engagement in the bottom lane. So
I believe they're doing some
watch out
fun.
for as well.
Jared's trying his best to deal with him.
Yep.
So these dual lanes, like it's a lot harder for Sand King to actually have the same kind of impact that we've seen him do last game.
Yep. I mean, this anti-mage is going to make sure that this the mana is constantly drained here on the Sand King. He's not able to get that Sandstorm off.
Bottom lane, No Tail. Surprisingly tanky here as it turns out, but maybe not tanky enough, throw something on the slow, but Frost there's just enough damage to finish the job.
Yeah, he's gone down twice, so that means he's got to do the Walk of Shame down the lane, doesn't he?
Oh no.
308
Absolutely right.
movement speed.
Doesn't even have money for TP scroll.
Nope. That leaves Dazzle by himself for a little while, so Seb's got to be careful. Ooh, Jarak actually
What?
takes down the Sand King in the top lane.
Ouch.
Is that a T-Tours moment?
No comment.
No comment?
Everyone else is gonna know it is, but you don't have to.
Okay. So, Sand King does go down there, and again, that's kind of the effective anti-mage, making sure that this Sand King doesn't have the mana to sit in the lane with the Sandstorm. They both did de-ward each other's sentry wards at the start of this laning phase. If you hit the hint enter, it's very caster friendly now. So both of these guys destroyed their sentry wards at the same time.
Yep.
Kind of get you on top of the Sand King, but I guess Oracle's just kind of been staying on top of the Sand King, making sure that whenever he's getting close to the lane, harass him with a couple of right clicks. But I think the fact that they killed him is actually kind of bad, because he comes back to lane with full HP, full mana.
We also has Hanskin to help out. They're gonna do a side pull.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna take some kill potential away from this bottom lane, but I think they're gonna be fine here between the PA and the Lion. Not really gonna slow down Zep as much, but I think overall you probably get more out of it.
Yep.
You certainly want to try and slow down Sentimage. I mean, so far he's been it's pretty close to perfect CS. We're 18 and 8 now. All of these denies also certainly helping out. Gets a few extra jungle creeps. Now doing some damage towards Grimstroke. Hans can just decide to, hey, let's just walk in, force out a blink.
Yep. But jumps right away. And he ends up burning quite a bit of Henskin's mana there, though. So you have to be a little bit careful about that when you're dealing with the anti-mage. You got to remember, you're not just taking extra damage from the fact that he's burning your mana. You're also losing a lot of what you'd have in harass if you overstep your bounds a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's, yeah, anti-mage is a pretty weak laner, but against some people who are pretty mana reliant, I think I was casting the game with you when anti-mage was up against an Ember Spirit. He can just dominate certainly in matchups.
Yep. Old side pulls everywhere. Same in the bottom. Zap actually starting to fight up a little bit. But Era, oh god, so much damage actually being done by a single poison charge. Not really even too many right clicks on top of it. Down to half health. Alright, so far so even up top. We haven't really seen this big. Oh god, Hanskin. He's gonna die here. Takes a lot of damage. He is also being healed up though by Jarex. They were unable to finish him off with another E. Meanwhile, mid though, so what the hell is happening here?
That, my friend,
How'd that happen? 1-4 exchange?
down you go.
Huh?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a big mystery.
All right. Looking at the mid lane, let's talk about that a little bit. This mid matchup, the CS between the two of these heroes. Right now, Skywrath is head and shoulders above this OD. Correct?
Yeah, just a bit. OD is small CS. A few of them might have been jungle creeps actually, as Jesse's now farming up this medium camp. Thompson getting some free space, and a lot of extra denies, of course, going his way. Gives him the experience advantage.
Yeah. This is such a ridiculous way of playing, though. Skywrath, the proper build now is actually just to rush 5 null talismans. That's exactly what he's doing right now.
Oh god.
I mean, you need spell amp on this hero.
Yeah, it's a great scheme that Ice Rock has given us with 720. But hey, you do what you gotta do.
5 null talismans is the build now, though, unironically. Because it scales with the int and then it scales with the spell amp, so you're gold. What else do you really need other than null talismans?
Need more item
Dominate
slots.
the early game. More item slots.
More item
true.
slots for even more null talismans. I think that's the only thing we could ask for at that point. Overall, though, like, is any team really getting really far ahead in this laning stage? I mean, it doesn't seem like that right now. Or is there any, like, what team can make use of this early money that they're getting better or quicker? Because Anti-Mage...
Skywrath, there's null talismans. Come take a look. Oh!
Ouch.
So much damage!
There's a lot of damage.
Ow!
What the hell?
His HP! Where'd it go?
It's just disappeared. That one also fighting or trying to fight up against No-Tail, but he's a bit too high of an HP pool as well, with Zeb sitting right next to him. But yeah,
Wait a
so
second.
What?
Alt-click the Arcane Bolt.
Yeah.
That int base damage multiplier goes up from 1.6
what?
to 1.9.
I did not know that.
That can't be right.
I did not know that spell and affects that, honestly.
What?
That,
So
that explains a few
it
things.
double scales then? So it'll scale from the int multiplier will scale, then the spell damage after that I think will scale. That has to be a mistake. There's no way it works like that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
you saw how fast his HP dropped.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Yun's fun. He's, even without Skyro there, he's taking a lot of damage here as they're eating their way through. Taking a bit in return. Nice little cue there from Hanskin. The stroke, the Grim Stroke, if you will. Getting 3 losses at once.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Skyro aside, so certainly has the potential to take over this mid game. On the other hand, though, you do have an anti-mage who tends to be a little bit slower in that regard, who needs a lot of space early on. Not like, unlike the Phantom Assassin, who can just go ham.
Look at that damage!
Try again. No-Tail is there, doesn't even need to help. Now the silence over and Grimstroke? What the hell?
Oh my!
Just disappears.
These arcane bolts are taking on half their HP. This is insane for work.
He did a casual 1,000 damage in the span of a couple of seconds between 2 heroes. I don't know, I'm sure that's normal though.
1.6k damage coming out there from 5 arcane bolts and 1 concussive shot.
Alright, so can Final Tribe recover here with the farm that they're getting on PA?
I want to say yeah. I mean, PA is doing great. It's a pretty good counter to both the anti-mage and the Skywrath. As soon as you get on top of it, you're doing all right. All right, they're taking them down here. And they give the money to the PA, so that's great for PA.
Worth remembering.
2 crits in a row there, by the way.
It's worth remembering, no matter how much damage you do with these arcane balls, you're not invincible.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes down up top. Bit of a tussle again. He has LTW. He's forced to fight a lot, but he's still fighting his last. It's 53 and 12.
Yep.
So far so good on that front. Frost.
Well, he's hitting on the top with last hit sharp, but still. Well, they're not that far behind on the final tribe. PA sitting at 3350 at the moment. I think that'd kill on the Skywrath up quite a bit. AT managed to get out of this one. No, he's not really in any danger here.
Overall, though, if you look at the net worth, all three of OG's heroes, all three of the cores, are ahead, and it certainly shows up in the net worth difference as well.
Maybe that Twitch viewer 1248 was correct, and OG was just losing on purpose to set some anime shit, as he said.
I'm sure. I'm sure this is a very well considered argument.
Mm-hmm.
And they still have to execute, right? They still have some ways to go in this very game, because if you really think about it, there's not too much high ground siege. There's a lot of team fight, a lot of sustain, good amount of split push, but they don't really have tower damage per se. So you're gonna have to rely on winning team fights, and you're up against Lion, you're up against Sand King. OD can be a bit of a combo breaker at times, with the well-timed Astral Imprisonment. So Final Tribe, they're gonna have some tools available for themselves once the push comes to shoves.
And we talked about this non-dispellable Phantom's Embrace little bug coming out. Something that's super effective against the anti-mage.
Yeah, it's not super effective against the Oracle as well. Yunfan's stick, but it's not gonna protect him from the ultimate. Khan's gonna try to deal with Jerax, but he needs to help out his friend, but as a result, it's gonna go one by one. 4 points up in Purifying Flames, it's a lot of damage now. Frost, it's actually going in, but Jerax falls into the quick false promise.
Gotta be a little bit careful here though if you're Jerax, but PA. Thompson TP'd in, this is gonna be a dead PA. Look at this damage come out.
A couple of spells,
They're just
easy as that.
You do. 500 damage coming out from each one of these with the Arcane Curse on you.
Ouch.
Arcane Seal, rather.
Well,
this is
they're
the
fighting
future
mid
Dragondrop.
as Brewmaster just soloing, or solo fighting him against Chessie. Doesn't quite have the damage.
Thompson wants to go for this top.
Like, let me try and settle down here in one lane. Like, what the hell is going on? Oh, Chessie just brings down the Brewmaster, kills everywhere. This is bullshit.
He wasn't done yet, though. He kept going. He dove those tier 2 towers going for that Grimstroke there.
God damn it.
Look at this Skywrath Mage's build. This is the future of Dota. And he gets a regen rune? Just bust by Gaben.
Please make it stop. He's gonna do it again, isn't he? Frost.
Yep. Goodbye, PA.
Didn't actually see him?
The dodge, though?
The hell?
That new blur? He phased out, and this concussive shot went for the nearby creep instead of the PA because of it.
That's a nice little shit, but he's still in there with the Ancient Seal, but Hans get an error trying to turn us around. They have the control, they have the double stun. Cursey, you have that Soulbind. Now the follow-up onto Jerax. Not a whole lot else that he can do. Beast banished, saved for later. Let's focus on Hobson. And again, gotta be very careful. You're very much a glass cannon with this build. You get caught out, there's any sort of control coming your way, all of a sudden you're not casting spells, you're not killing anybody. And in fact, you just end up dead.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly helping out Final Fight.
Yeah, I mean, you have so much damage. Sure, you can kill people before they react, but if they manage to get away from you, they do have the disables and the damage to kill you. PA can gap close instantly due to the power of Phantom Strike. You have tons of disables in the form of Lion. You have these saves from OD, so they do have tools to deal with the Skywrath, but they have to be very careful from the Skywrath's initiation. Speaking of,
fun. See him. They have the dust ready to go. They have the silence. A little bit too late after the burst strike, but he's still stuck on the low ground. Has to walk through the Mystic Flare.
it doesn't matter. He's gonna go down here.
Yeah,
There's just nothing the Sand King can do.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Rest in pepperonis. Tower goes now. No Lacid. Just goes to the
Radiant
Dire.
structures are fortified.
Yikes.
Where's that fortify? What the hell? That was outside of the grace period too, so Radiant just fortified for nothing.
Did what the hell? Okay, all right. I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
Well,
No Tail taunting with his ultimate right now in the trees here.
oh god. There's a bunch of people around here. I'm not sure if they realize how much of OG's heroes are here. They're certainly gonna try and come in to play. Jesse forced up the high ground here after baiting them in. Thompson still ready to cast a few spells. Already committed the Bruise Pit. Hanskin, well, it's not a whole lot he can do up against the silence. No way to save him. And now, in fact, Hanskin will be the secondary casualty. So the rest of them have to walk away. The entire of OG in his mid lane. Setting up for some kills, and also the tower. Zep, he's going for his Necrobook build.
Yep. They want to push these towers real quickly.
Chilling up inside the sandstorm. Doesn't quite have to blink, and Thompson just turns around, walks away. Now sees Era. Oh. Ouch.
It's a lot of damage, isn't it? Even though we're seeing it again and again, it's not changing the fact that it's a lot of damage.
Poor Lion.
Thompson's going for a blink too.
That, my friend, was a mistake.
Let's just not talk about the damage anymore. It's just too crazy. Unit's fun super freaking low, sitting inside the sandstorm, but they have the dust ready to go.
Yep.
Easy kill.
He's getting his blink dagger too, so he's going to be able to get right on top of people, throw that arcane seal off, and boom. Or they're going to get hit with like at least 3 arcane bolts once he's on top of them under the ancient seal lamp. Thompson's not joking around anymore. He's out for blood.
Well, might see Era here.
Frost has been playing really well this game though.
Smoke breaks, but they find the sounds on the side. Jarrex tried to save, tried to steal it, I think. The Purifying Flames, which is incidentally also a giant nuke that's being amplified quite a bit. 360 or 375 here with a Zone Spell Amp plus that Ancient Seal.
Yep.
So, I guess it's BKB time not soon. PA is still going for the Desolator first.
Yep. Went for that HP talent because I guess she's a little bit afraid of how much damage some of these heroes on OG does. PA's been doing pretty well for herself though, with her positioning and her ability to jump on these kills that she needs to be at. I think she's going to TP out here as well. She realizes things are dangerous. You're going to have to go pretty soon though. At some point, OG's going to dive you. You don't want to be here. Yeah.
Frost pulls the trigger.
Frost gets out of there. And Frost has been super careful all game.
Yeah. So let's talk big picture again, because again, this is a lot of early game prowess with all of this magic damage. What do they do once the BKBs come online? Like, can Anti-Mage take over at that point? I mean, he has Battlefield going for quite a while now. He's sitting at 10k now, well ahead of everybody.
I'm not sure he can. I think PA is just too strong for the Anti-Mage to deal with once PA has a couple of her core items. But they're ready to push high ground right now.
They have the Desolator, so you're gonna have to put that to use right here, right now, because OG don't think they want to wait until the BKBs
and you don't want to lose it
in the first place. They just
you
want
don't
to
want
fight
to lose
right
the tower
now.
this quickly against Anti-Mage.
Suns comes in, counter spell not really doing too much against it. Only a bit of chip damage in the end.
Yep. So off they go. And I think they want to bait out this PA or something like that. They see, okay, well the lane's pushed top, maybe PA will just catch her out there. But Frost has been too careful this game to make a mistake like that.
He even cancelled his TP back home though. We had the Desolator delivered instead. He didn't show in lane, but he's still farming over there, rather than just sitting in base, twiddling his thumb. Now, the smoking just to break out into their vision here, just trying to, again, get out on map and farm, instead of just sitting there waiting for OG to come to you.
Yep. Final Tribe realized that they're up to something though if they're not showing at the moment, so they don't fall for it. Sand King has to be a little bit careful here though. He's a little bit too far forward.
No TP though on Grimstroke or ODs. They're not going to be there for a while now. It's fun, dropping very, very low. Stun connects. Got another couple of spells from the units from Thompson. He's just straight up dead. Now they have a little bit of extra time to wail away at this tower. They have the Brewmaster's ultimate here. All these spirits are just trying to keep them away. Bit of imprisonment here to follow up for... Ah, no, it's actually Jesse with self-imprisonment. LZW, you gotta be very careful about this Mana Void right now. Only staying at 500 for OD. Burst Strike comes across. And it bursts down as Brewmaster, but not really doing too much here. Jerix and Zeb both just way too much sustain, way too much support.
So they are forced to back off. They forced the buyback. They almost bring down this tier 3, so OG pretty happy about that one.
Well, at least it's still standing, so Shrines are still protected for the time being. And Tribe, they again, they need to hit that timing ASAP with the BKBs. Phantom Assassin has it queued up. Jesse, still some ways out.
Are scanning.
Having a hard time finding the space to farm it right now. Especially if it's stuck on the outside.
He backs off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, OG are not committing super hard for the high ground, but they're not letting go of their grip here in this bottom lane.
They don't want Final Tribe to be able to reclaim control of their jungle or any of this map for that matter. So they're making sure if anyone gets out of the base, they have to be very careful.
This should make my life easier.
Or they'll punish them for it. Frost has been playing super well around that though.
Zep. Been gone. Oh, miscommunication here. Burst strike on top of the imprisonment. Now silence over. And it's Magic gets rid of the back very quickly. Now they have to retreat fully here. Jonas Fan, it's not going to get a chance, so he's dead. But meanwhile, Anti-Mage just finished up Jesse.
Yep.
Thompson just taunting him. Yeah, that was a mistake. Final tried to realize that too, I guess. A little bit too late. Just slow still connects on Frost. Alt W blinking forward. Frost needs someone to blink to, but he can't. He's silenced. He's dead. There's no buyback. Same death timer as Jonathan found. So 3 heroes on the sidelines. They're going to be able to finish up the tower and the racks at this point.
Yeah, nothing you do defend this one. Fortunately, they're not going to be able to take any more. Actually, they do take more. They're going to get Lion here.
Oh my god. Can't
just
even
too
make
much
it to the
damage.
fountain. Triple kill for Tops, and this is the top god that we know and love. They can't get any more racks because it's still tier 2s in the other lanes. Or tier 1 even for top, but damn.
But they did manage to claim an extra lion on top of the racks there, though. So, yeah. Frost has been playing super. Come on, you guys! Frost has been playing so well this game.
Yeah, he's the one.
Tack,
That's trying
what
to
does
keep
that
us
mean?
weekend.
You speak European, right?
What?
Said something in all chat.
It's not European. It's a weird made-up language, I'm sure.
All Europeans speak the same language. European.
Anyway, a fun fact: Anti-Mage is accounting for the entire net worth advantage from OG right now. Striking mid.
Impressive.
Frost trying to fight up against Zeb, but there's no chance. Now Frost, in fact, might be in a lot of trouble. Finds a jump, but still, so many artillery shots flying in.
Ow.
And, yeah, I understand taking risks. Or having to take risks in a position like this, but what were they hoping to gain there? Just crit down the Dazzle somehow?
Maybe they're slipping a little bit. They lost their bottom racks. They don't want to be losing things like that against the anti-mage. They have a couple of candidates to the heroes and OG, but I think OG is just outmaneuvering them on this map. I think both games have just been a matter of one team snowballing after the lead in the early game.
Yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Crazy how much of a difference this makes. And hey. With the W in the front. Butterfly, not quite completed, but will be after these next couple of buildings.
Middle tower has fallen.
So this anti-mage
Alright, here's a fun fact for you. You used to be able to dispel Sandstorm
Radiant's
with,
middle barracks are under
well,
attack.
any dispel, even a basic one. You can't do that anymore.
Don't try to spell anymore.
Has fallen.
The only way to deal with it is to toss him out of it, like the Monkey King ult. It's gonna force out of the way or some shit.
A fun fact for you.
Radiant are
Earlier at the start of the game, I think it was Oracle. He was trying to dispel the Sand King or the Sand King Sandstorm with his Q. Realized he couldn't do that. No tail
Well, yeah.
just now, not being able to dispel the Sandstorm with dispel magic. He didn't try to do it, you know, on his Air Panda or Storm Panda rather.
Alright, Desperation Smoke time. OG is going for Roche. A little bit of minus arm. It's falling pretty quickly, and if they can get the ult out first, it would be pretty big. BKB comes off from Chassis, Epicenter in the back here. They have to hex on Anti-Mage. If they can focus on the rest, try and bring them down, that's great. But Zeb with the false promise with the Shadow Grave here. Linked up with No Tail though, so came back into the fight, just dies immediately again. Big mana void. Hanskin's still alive, can toss out whatever spells he can. It's the first casualty for a final tribe. Still trying to salvage this, but Thompson, oh well, he is actually being critted down. Chelsea dies without access to his BKB. So it's down to Frost to kind of take over. There's the Shadow Grave, so keeping Jarix alive. And LTW, no more control left for him. He can just clean house one by one if they just had detection for the Sand King. But I don't think they care at this point. They're just going straight for Roche. He does have enough for a Burst Strike though with these stick charges. It could turn this into issues if there's some mass buybacks in there. OD holding onto it for now, but oh god, no, Lion. Got a little bit too close to the danger zone. Yonsfarm recasts the Sandstorm. Is everyone who can just coming back into this fight? And final tribe? Looks like they want to try and steal this Roshan away from OG. Blinking from LTW. They need control. They have the silence. They have the burst strike. They have Roshan down. Yonsfarm grabs the Aegis as well as the last hit. Now Intimate super low. Has to blink out. Yonsfarm still safe. In the middle of this is the clicking and cleaving down Thompson. It's a dieback for him too. Zeb down next on the list here. Has the Shadow Grave to the late as much as they can, but well, it's not really going to be able to do a lot more extra damage. Final Tribe is still in the game as the silence connects on the Anti-Mage here. Right clicks are still strong enough. And see, links up with Jarix, but it's not enough follow-up to deal with them right now. Final Tribe, they decide, alright, let's try and get the hell out of here. Okay. That's the Aegis down. Should be able to find him a second time. Unless they're taking a fight here. Era coming in, threatens that Hex, finds it on the Anti-Mage with counter spell on the sidelines here. The Illusion's still doing quite a bit of work. Jesse in the front lines here, being gone on, doesn't have the BKB, doesn't have anything here. The Illusion's chasing him now with the extra stun. Oh no, they're not microing. Didn't micro the Illusion up the high ground, so they lost vision. Ugh. What is happening here? PA lifted up into the air. Jarix with root help. Frost disarm, not a whole lot he can do now, except TP out.
He got TP
and he actually got it. So they're still in it. They're still in it.
Frost God, everybody. Oh my god, look at this madman. He's been playing so good all game.
Yeah. What is the upshot of the fight? I mean, it lasted for a good 3-4 minutes around the Roche pit. Overall though, like it is a win for Final Tribe, right? According to the metrics.
Of course.
Even buyback wise, like there's so many buybacks from either side that's like...
Last game we saw OG, they refused to go down. They were kicking and screaming as they did, and Final Tribe doing the exact same thing. That was such a bold move to try and take that fight in the Roche pit and end up paying off for them. This game would be over right now, I feel like, if they didn't go for that.
Yeah. Great analysis, Cotton.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I understood that reference, if you try to make it or not.
Huh? We were watching Dodgeball together in, what was it, Hamburg?
I was watching Dodgeball with Nahi, and then you came in as it ended or something.
The movie's aged well ever since that Armstrong fellow came out with all the did all those steroids.
Yeah. It's
the game of the movie.
Still think about that one, that part, you know.
Yeah.
That movie's not about Armstrong. It was about Patches Houlihan, who's the real sports hero in that movie.
Yeah, but Armstrong, the guy who did all the steroids, came in to give him the pep talk.
It was a cameo. Come on, like.
That movie was aged so well.
Like, I mean,
anyway.
Maybe it was the only genuine moment in his life. Let's give him that.
Jesus.
It's helped out.
I'm sure he had.
It's helped out Joe. Anyway, back to Dota.
Yeah.
As Frost is actually getting ready to do some creep skips, I think, up in the top lane.
He needs this BKB. But they end up fortifying the creep so he can't skip them.
This is for the juggler here. This is Mega Creeps online, so they have to take another fight. Motel with the initial brew split once again, just to try and buy some space. He's just running them forward, pressing a few spells, saying, "Hey, deal with me." So LTW has all the time in the world to click down these racks.
Sells the Wraith Bands in order to buy that BKB, but that Fortify actually bought them so much valuable time.
It's the Burst Strike. Oh god, again, stunned into imprisonment. Not really thinking this through.
This racks go down here.
Silence goes in, Manta Style, Burst Strike back away with a counterspell. There's the help from the Oracle. The False Promise coming in, they're all just walking away. Reset, re-engage, heal up on ILTW, just goes in. A couple of bashes here. Needs to find a target for the Mana Void, but now trying to throw whatever damage they can, but they just don't have any. LTW just goes in, another banishment. But they're all just limping back to the fountain at this point. Thompson did go down, though. What the hell? Where did that even happen? I don't know, in the backline somewhere, but Frost goes down in turn. Yeah, all the way back on the high ground. But yeah, this is it, I think.
Yeah,
Very creeps,
now
3
and
heroes down, they
GG.
call it.
I mean, that fortify from OG was so big, delaying that PA from coming back to base by 6 seconds, making it so she couldn't farm that last creep wave. She couldn't get her BKB in time to be able to defend before that tier 3 went down. That was big. I'm not even sure if they realized that the PA needed that last creep wave in order to sell the Wraith Bands and get that BKB, but committing to that allowed them to win the game right there.
And it also kept the few creeps that they had alive in their front lines, so they could actually do some damage while they were doing that.
The offensive fortify.
Yeah. It's a very delicate tool, but it can make the difference in many ways in these kind of games, or in these kind of pushes at least. I mean, the game was pretty firmly in the hands of OG, regardless. Again, as you said before, Final Tribe were in a similar situation to OG in Game 1. Kind of down to with everything coming down to the wire, everything has to go perfectly for you, and one little misstep, one little thing not working out means that you lose the game. But yeah, I mean, what do you even say about a series like that with both games being so one-sided, but two different winners?
Yeah, I'd say that our Twitch chat buddy Anto Andre was correct. OG was just losing on purpose to set some anime shit again.
Well, they might be setting up
shout to that guy. He's obviously just a genius.
Yeah, they might be setting it up a tiebreaker for later. Like because the Final Tribe wins 2-0 against Helsinki Reds now, then both OG and Final Tribe will have 3 wins, and of course that 1-1 means that they're tied up in that situation. So I'm not sure if there's going to be another best of 1 tiebreaker being played, or whether they're just going to figure something else out, because at that point it would just be for seeding in the upper bracket matches. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Final Tribe, again, basically they have to win both games against Helsinki Reds to make that happen. We'll see if they can do that, or whether Helsinki Reds do one last bit of effort here, one spurt to try and screw over Final Tribe a little bit. That'll be our next matchup. So, hope you enjoyed this stream so far. I'm going to let you know in chat when the next game starts. So for now, stay tuned.